Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be redesigning HOLT HYDE. Now I got this doll like 2 years ago for 18 bucks. He came nude and only had Heath's shoes. I told myself I would sew him a temporary outfit to have for a couple weeks, but a couple weeks turned into years. He just sat on my shelf looking like this. So it's about time I give my guy the face and fit he deserves. My whole idea with him and my Monster High customs going forward on this channel is that they're going to be college students. I'm starting with Holt because he was the one that the thought popped up with. I plan on making a Jackson doll as well as the other ghouls like Draculaura, Claudine, Laguna. So for designing Holt's outfit, I wanted him to be more comfy and cozy as I imagine in this AU taking place in the fall, but also I would like to use his baggy fashion to contrast with Jackson's more form-fitting fashion sense. When it comes to how both Jackson and Holt got accepted into college, I like to think Jackson was the one who spearheaded the idea and applied. But he also acknowledged that he would need accommodations, like specific weekdays and extra time for homework, as there's literally another person who shares the same body. I don't think Holt would feel excited about going to college at first, but when he finds out Frankie's also going to be attending because the college has a good science program, he warms up to the idea of having a friend there. He starts to look into if the school has any music or art classes. The college has a few of them, so he ends up taking them, but he also has online college as it'll better mesh with his schedule. I like to think Jackson and Holt have gotten better at communicating and even take some tips from one another. But I can definitely see Holt as being impulsive with his appearance, which is why I decided to give him some more piercings, which will also translate to Jackson's design. I think that Holt just pierced his snake bites and lobes with whatever he had on hand, and when Jackson is up and about, he looks in the mirror and freaks out. I'll probably go more into the AU in the future, like in a future video with illustrations to go with my thoughts. Anyway, with Holt's outfit, I wanted to try out some lighter colors, specifically with the jeans, as though he took a tip from Jackson. But in the end, you'll see I don't keep the red flames, which I think was a good move. I'm gonna be real, I don't know why I did a turnaround for this design. I think I just wanted to practice turnarounds. With the outfit concept done, I moved on to his face. This is the mock-up I did. He has a side glance since I plan on making him and Jackson look at each other, but also side glances are more expressive and add another level of character to a doll. Before going with paints, I always sketch the face out with Derwent Inktense colored pencils. I've seen other customizers use mechanical pencils, but that's never worked out for me with Monster High dolls. I don't know why. For painting his face, I first seal it with a layer of Mr. Superclear matte varnish. And then I go in with my Vallejo matte acrylic paints, which I watered down a little bit. As for brushes, I use nail art brushes since they're small enough to get the sharp points and thin lines. I'm not gonna lie, painting his face I struggled with recording the process. I have no clue how other doll artists do it, but I do hope to improve on my filming skills in the future. I then painted his eyebrows white as a base coat so the color will pop. I'm really proud of how flat I got the paint. I think this was my best repaint yet. I have done a few before him, which can all be found on my Instagram, at twisted.nick. Also, my Luna and Thorn dolls will be up on my Depop for those interested. The link will be in the description below. With the face all painted, I then sealed it with a second layer of Mr. Superclear. As for his piercings, I used epoxy sculpt and black acrylic paint with a coat of matte varnish, and then I took a toothpick and dabbed a little super glue on it to get a clean look for both sets of piercings. Oh yeah, for his snake bites, I used silver nail art beads. Moving on to the clothes, for his sweater, I modified a G3 Claude jacket to get the correct fit and then made a proper pattern to use it in the future. For the design on his sweatshirt, I hand embroidered it, which was a pain in the butt, but I think it turned out well in the end. After that, I added Velcro to make the piece removable. Onto the jeans! So I chose to use Delightful's UV baggy pants pattern, which I slightly modified to fit the G1 Monster High boys. I also ended up taking inspiration from a picture I found on Pinterest because I wasn't feeling the red flames at all. I don't feel bad for taking the design off the pants because the pic was from Shein and they're known for stealing designs. Besides, I'm using it on a doll scale. To get the flames on the pants, I probably should have used fabric marker, but I didn't have any, so I used Sharpie and then flat ironed the pants to seal the ink in. I didn't want to use acrylic paint because I don't like the feeling of it on fabric. But this is how they turned out, and all I need to do now is gather the cuffs at the bottom. I felt like adding a little dangle from his pants, so I made a small eyeball out of air-dried clay, paint, red yarn, and gloss varnish. The other eyeballs on the plate were an experiment for a craft that I have yet to finish. I really like how it turned out. I would love to make more in the future. Since Holt comes out with music, I thought I'd give him his headphones and a boombox. Although in my college AU, Holt fluctuates between music and nighttime being the triggers, like how it used to be for him as mentioned in the diaries. I think this would be a fun dynamic to explore since college is stressful. It makes sense for the body to react to new challenges. I painted the headphones black and added white for the skull details. With the headphones done, I coat them in matte varnish and move on to the boombox. I ended up re-sculpting it out of oven-baked clay because the epoxy sculpt wasn't working well with what I had planned, which is okay because I do like how it turned out in the end. It's like very detailed and I think it was a good move. With that done, it is now time to show y'all the final result. I can't get over the before and after. I feel like I just gave him a facelift. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll see you all next time. Bye!